he's particularly good at being a propagandist because he makes propaganda cool, and he makes idiocy cool. Now, you know what's going on in New York with Donald Trump. You know what's going on with that civil action and all the rest of it. But I want you to check this out.
Donald Trump indictment. There are people...
What?
There are people who say,
what?
Yes, you have to indict him because he has, in fact, broken the laws. And there are other people who say this is going to turn him into a martyr. This is his path to redemption.
Sure.
How do you think about that?
What? The law should always take into account someone's popularity. I think it's as though you can't even commit financial fraud anymore. What exactly are we saying that he did? What did Trump actually do to earn this penalty? Well, it turns out that for a decade, whenever Trump wanted to get a loan or make a deal, he would illegally inflate the value of his real estate. You can't inflate the value of your properties when you need a loan and then deflate it with taxes. I mean, the next thing you know, they're going to send you to jail instead of your lawyer.
That is a lie.
There are people who say it's selective prosecution, that this would not...
Everything is selective prosecution. And the Attorney General of New York knew that Trump's property values were inflated because when it came time to pay taxes, Trump undervalued the very same properties. It was all part of a very sophisticated real estate practice known as lying. Did he do something wrong? What was it? Explain that to us. So the judge calculated that the value that he gained from the lying with interest was around $454 million. What is the law that he supposedly violated? That sounds pretty straightforward. Whatever gains you got from lying, you have to pay back. Well, I don't see him ever actually going to jail. I personally don't even care. Well, that's because you're a f***ing idiot. No.
But what if it turns out to be his get out of jail free pass? It's his path to... People will see him as a martyr. Okay.
You're
okay with that? He could become president again.
He could become president anyway. Fareed, we either have the rule of law or we have no rule of law. What exactly are we saying that he did? His lawyer went to jail for this same situation for a couple of years.
By the way, that is a lie.
See, he pretended for years when he was on his comedy show to be somebody who could see both sides and see through the BS on both sides. Well, now he is the BS. The BS meter's through the roof.
We're talking about a victimless crime. They find an ordinance or a law that has never been used ever before in anyone else.
He's committed bank fraud where there's no victim. It makes no sense.
No victims. There was no victim. The ruling is blatantly unfair.
That didn't go over very well with the investment community because we're all asking each other, who's next?
Who's next? The persecuted minority of the investment community first.
And what is really disgusting is people like Jon Stewart lie to the American public. Really, people need to wake up and not be so sort of overwhelmed by celebrity that they take out-and-out falsehoods and ad hominem attacks from really a gutter snipe like Jon Stewart.
Oh, no, you didn't. They are not victimless crimes. First, the banks got paid back at lower interest rates, although, to be honest, who gives a shit? But second, money isn't infinite. A loan that goes to the liar doesn't go to someone who's giving a more honest evaluation.
Jon Stewart can't just have a free pass to lie to people, think he's a celebrity and think facts don't matter. Look, the left wing every day is accusing Donald Trump of not adhering to the facts. Here's Jon Stewart making up his own set of facts so he can feel good about himself.
Leave it to Kevin O'Leary to be unaware enough to say the quiet part out loud.
I hear about the so-called victimless crimes, but the laws on the books, falsification of business records in second degree, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy, and all these different aspects of it, those are actual crimes. I take it your point is that these should not have been prosecuted?
Everything you just listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth.
And this is the problem with Kevin O'Leary. Trump didn't do any of that, and this law is not intended for that. It's intended for consumer complaints. So to say everybody does it, which number one isn't true, because you don't want to defend Trump per se, but you want to defend your industry per se, really doesn't cut it with me either. Plus it gives an opening to a moron like Jon Stewart Leibowitz to say and do what he does. Go ahead.
This listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth in every city. This has never, ever been prosecuted.
There is a theory in law that if enough people commit a crime, it automatically becomes legal. Entitled arrogance. I don't know if you know this, but most people just can't commit fraud.
And yet O'Leary's wrong, and of course Leibowitz is wrong. That's not what took place here. What took place here is a consumer statute that doesn't have a jury trial because it's really considered to clean up consumer complaints, many of which are, out there from time to time, and then to use that in a major attack on a political opponent for the purpose of bankrupting them and stealing their property. That's the real story. So you see, John Stewart Leibowitz pretends to be some kind of really cool contrarian. He's just your usual left-wing kook slob. That's all he is, with 10 comedy writers. Remember, Mr. Producer, when the comedy writers went on strike? They had to stop a show. Anyway, go ahead.
Even if everyone's doing it, try getting a car loan by saying you have 10 times as much money as you really do.
Oh, everybody's not doing it. You know everybody's not doing it. So why are you doing your bit like this? Is it funny? So you jump on the Kevin O'Leary statement, which is really a stupid statement? I got him now. I got him now. Yeah, everybody's doing it. The entitled, the arrogant. What do you got, mashed potatoes for your brain, Leibowitz? Go ahead.
Or claim 20 dependents when you have no children. Or say you make slightly less money to qualify.
The whole shtick goes on and on and on. There's nothing funny about this. What they've done to Donald Trump is outrageous. And rather than be the so-called libertarian and go against the flow, you'll never go against the flow. You're a coward, Leibowitz. You're a fraud. You're not funny. When you used to get guys up there who were really funny, like George Carlin, Carlin was a thinker. You may not agree with him. He didn't have a writer. That's why he was one of the greats. Again, you don't have to agree with him. Didn't always agree, but he was funny. And many of them were funny. But Leibowitz, he's not funny. Stupid. You realize they don't get any rating?
And food assistance, I will guarantee you, there are not just financial consequences for those lies, but criminal ones.
So here he is into his class warfare, beating up on the rich based on something Kevin O'Leary said. Not the fact that this country, through its capitalist system, has created more prosperity for more people than any country on the face of the earth, and we create prosperity for people outside this country. Not a word. I don't think comedy's funny when you're constantly trashing our country, our economic system, our citizens, when you're spewing your soft Marxist bullcrap. I don't think that's funny. In the least, Leibowitz.
Hold on, I'm not done. If I could raise my chair up, I would.
Well, you're a coward, Leibowitz. You're a fraud. You're not funny. In the least, Leibowitz.